What's up? It's a boy, Kazi. Welcome to Kazi Plays. And today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to play Storm. So without further ado, let's get into it. First things first, let's talk about her role. If you don't know already, Storm is a duelist, aka DPS or damage character, but there are different types of duelists. You have your close range flanking duelists like Spider-Man, you have your mid-range duelists like Squirrel Girl, and then you have your long-range duelists like Hawkeye or Widow. And in Storm's case, she's more of a mid-range duelist. However, she does cover one role that no other duelist can. She supports the team, and not in a way that any other duelist can on this list. She supports the team in more of a way that a specialist would, which is the reason why I would call her more of a support DPS. But we'll get more into that later in the video. Up next, let's talk about Storm's abilities. Her primary fire are these fast little wind blades that you have 12 of at a time. Her first ability shoots out a bolt of lightning that deals massive damage to enemies. Her second ability is a skill that's always active, where it grants you and allies within your field marked by this circle around you, where it either gives you and your allies a speed boost or a damage boost depending on which one you have toggled on. And if you take a look under my crosshair, there's a little HUD that tells you which ability you have toggled on, and also tells you how many allies or enemies are within your field. Her third ability adds on to her second ability, but it is a lot, so let's go ahead and break it down. With the speed boost activated from the second ability, if you activate the third ability, it increases the speed boost even further and also slows down enemies within the range as well. Now, with the damage boost being activated from the second ability, if you activate the third ability, it will do an initial burst of damage to the enemies and will do damage to them over time, while also buffing you and your allies' damage even further than before. And finally, her ultimate, basically you're able to pick where you're gonna spawn a tornado, and once you do, you can move the tornado around and deal damage to anybody in your path. Also, if you team up with Thor, you get an extra ability where you shoot out a bolt of lightning at an enemy, and if there's another enemy nearby, it will also hit them as well for a chain reaction. If you made it this far into the video and want to dive further into the community, I do got a Discord link in the description below. There we talk about Marvel Rivals, anime, manga, and whatnot, and if you're interested, feel free to stop by. We'd love to have you. Moving on, let's finally go over Storm's playstyle. During a match and in neutral, I would recommend you staying on your speed mode so you can go ahead and close in the gap between your team and the enemy's team, and then once you're close enough, you can go ahead and switch to your damage mode and then just shred the enemy. Also, not a lot of people know about this, but in general, not with just Storm, if you're using a flying character and you are high enough, Jeff's ultimate will not be able to reach you. I also don't recommend going off on your own as Storm, because it defeats the purpose of a majority of her kit, because just like I said earlier with Storm being a support duelist, to go into more detail about that, the whole point of her kit is that she's able to buff your allies with either speed or damage, and even if you're not getting kills, just you being next to your allies, giving them the damage buff or the speed buff whenever they need is a huge help. Storm is also really good at dealing with flankers, because if your supports are near you and somebody, for example like Black Panther, tries to flank you, all you gotta do is pop your speed debuff and it will make it harder for them to try to escape. Or you could also pop your damage boost too, so then they'll just constantly take damage while trying to take out your supports, which will give you the edge. One of the most important things when playing with Storm is that you need to be able to read the situation so you can decide on whether you either pop your speed boost or your damage boost depending on what's going on. The extra ability that you get from Thor's team up is also a great way to separate crowds, because if they're together, when you throw the lightning out, it's gonna cause a chain reaction, and chances are there's a good chance you might get rid of like some characters that are low with that. While Storm's ultimate is a great way to get picks, but it's also a great way to force your enemy's supports to pop their ultimates. And that's everything on how to play Storm, but if I did leave something out or you did discover something new, feel free to put it in the comments below to share with everyone else to help each other out. And yeah, if you do want more Marvel Rivals on the channel, why don't you know, go to support your boy. I'll go ahead and catch y'all in the next one. Y'all take it easy.